This is Coach Dave Molina. I gotta give a guy a shout out, and maybe you guys can go ask him. This is how I perceive his move. A guy named Robson Moura Rabinho. He's one of my idols. I watched him coming up. I think I was a blue belt when he was a black belt, winning like everything. And he does incredible stuff, period. But especially, I always like this choke. And I've never got the chance to ask him with a gi on, point blank, how he does it. But this is my perception of how he does it and on all the little details in between, and it's a sneaky little guy. And I haven't seen a lot of people use it since, right? And we're gonna take a look at two options, okay? So it's based off this lapel grip. So what we're doing, very common these days in tournament world, is to take all the slack out of that lapel, okay? Once we take the slack out, we're gonna feed it to our left hand. Now, what happens with my left hand, very important for the back of my hand to be under the back of his neck, because if it's too deep, it's gonna hurt my wrist, okay? So what we're gonna make sure is this back of the hand goes under the back of the neck. So you're gonna have to slide your hand out. Always take the slack out of the gi. I can make a deep grip and slide the hand accordingly, right? If I don't take the slack out, my hand's gonna be under the neck, and then the choke's gonna be very loose. So we're gonna slide the hand in, and it's gonna go right to the back of the neck because I've let my hand slide down the collar, okay? Now, there's some space here. It's good space. What we're now gonna do is we're gonna take our right hand and block this hip. So we got two hands on the same side momentarily, okay? I'm gonna get ready to spin around. This choke is one we're gonna spin all the way around the head. Okay? We're gonna sprawl, and I'm gonna kill this forearm off with my right knee because this forearm could be a real hassle. So my right knee is gonna go block the elbow. I'm gonna stay heavy right hip. My head is gonna come to this side of the hip, and oftentimes I use my head for base. Okay? Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a large step over his body and put my knee on the floor. Okay? As we put our knee on the floor, I'm going to back step, making sure that this arm is in the clear. Okay? Once we back step, I'm going to pull this elbow up and over my arm, and then I'm going to back my hip up into this arm and bring my hip in. We've got a really nice, strong collar choke, and I was so impressed by him. I think it was a 2000 Worlds that I saw him do this, and I started using it all the time ever since. So one more trip with this one, and then I have something from there as well. So again, my hand's going to be right underneath the head. We've taken the slack out. I let the collar slide right underneath the head. We got to block this hip because he's going to follow me if I don't, and then I got to kill this arm off with my knee. So we're going to block the elbow with my knee and set myself a little heavy into this hip. Our head's going to post. We're going to back step around, and now we've got the elbow. Okay. I want to make sure that I get enough room so I can pick this elbow up, because this arm is crucial in this choke. It's like a katagatame basically. Okay? I'm going to bring the elbow up, and I'm going to bring my hip in, and now we're going to pull our left elbow into the armpit, and we get a super sweet collar choke. Now, here's my little addition. If he is turned on his side and I cannot bring this elbow up, I'm going to just take out this gi. Now, often in training, this gi is already out. So we're going to remove this lapel or catch the lapel. Okay? I'm going to take, again, all the slack out. My palm is going to be facing the mat, and then I'm going to bring the collar underneath his head, and now we're going to do a baseball choke. So I'm going to walk all the way back around to the other side, and I'm going to do a baseball choke. Okay? So it's a double collar choke. It's pretty sweet. Maybe Robson doesn't know this one. He probably does. But I thought that was my little addition to that move. So again, we're going to bring the hand underneath the neck. One more review of the second option. I'm going to make sure I kill the arm off with my knee. We're going to hop around. We're going to bring the elbow up. We got this choke. If he's on his side and I cannot get it, I'm going to make sure my shoulder stays heavy enough to go get the far lapel. Once we get the far lapel, I'm going to take the slack out, pass my arm around his head, and now we're doing a baseball choke. So now I got to walk all the way back around and put this right knee down, my head on the opposite side, and my left leg up. And he's tapping before I can get there. So anyway, a little fancy collar choke style, I guess we could call Rabinho style. Here at 5 Star Martial Arts, Team Renzo Gracie LA, it's Coach Dane, I'm Shawn Williams. Thanks guys for joining us.